Today, in honor of July 4th, Independence Day, I will be defending America from the attacks of salty TikTokers. This will be on my part, I think, perhaps not quite as brave as the colonists fighting against the British for independence, but I think not far behind. I think it's like in that realm. They'll build statues to me one day, I'm sure, and then those statues will be torn down. It'll require almost as much valor and daring, you might say.
Of course, you have to know that a lot of these people who talk like this are very arrogant. And how can somebody who is Native American be anti-American when they're Native? Anyway, I'm not even going to go there. When I saw this video, it absolutely disgusted me. But it's really good to hear these people come out and say this because it's everything we already know. They celebrate the 4th of July because they are proud of 1776 and everything they did before to get to that point. They are reveling in their privilege right now. And every sick thing that they have ever done, they are trying to pretend like everybody else did it. But yet, when they did it, they left behind so much death, pain, and agony that people are still talking about it to this day, to the point some of their victims can't say anything because they literally got rid of whole groups of people. Almost exterminated, have exterminated and almost exterminated whole groups of people, but they want to talk about everybody. Everybody was, going to war, taking everything. Nobody has ever done what they've done. They just had a coronation with stolen jewels and oh my God, it makes my skin crawl. But let's get into the video.
Now, there are a lot of America haters out there in the country, as we know, in general, a great many people who are living here and enjoying the luxuries and the liberties and the fruits of living here.
I'm one of them, and he's talking about enjoying the liberties, what other people had to fight for because they wanted to take it for themselves. And they wrote the Constitution thinking about themselves and only themselves. They put it in songs. They stigmatize groups of people. This is not for everybody's enjoyment. It's for their privilege only. They didn't create anything to kill and steal and kidnap and enslave and work and use other people. They really think everyone that I come in contact with always say like our country. And it's so weird to me to hear that, our country. I don't say that because I don't feel like this is my country, and I don't come from this country just because this is my nationality. It's weird. But to be honest, patriotism is all they have, because if they don't have that, what would they have? What would be their identity? Where would they get their privilege from?
And who certainly would not want to live anywhere else, which is why they're here.
That's not true. There are people brought over here against their will. We can say that. And if we knew where we came from, we probably most likely would like to go back, but we're not going to go back until we're given everything that we're owed.
And yet they're resentful and they're angry and they can't quite explain why. That's the one thing they can't do. Or maybe they can, or maybe they can explain. Let's go to TikTok and we'll give them a chance to present their case, such as it is.
Who is we? That's what I always want to know. We are going to let them present their case. So we're going to see who's in these TikTok videos. And we're going to see who them are and they. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say these colorless people. Because like I said in my last video about this fool, this buffoon, is he sets up here and talk like all of them do this. You can just listen to them. They talk like they have power. They talk like they hold the purse strings. They talk like they're in the inner circle. The reason they think they're in the inner circle is because of their skin, their colorlessness. And they feel like the majority of everything that's ran in important positions, corporations, and everything that has to do with power, that it's a colorless person, so therefore that is extended to them, which is not. You see the audacity, you see where the mindset is, and it's clownish. It's very foolish for them to set up there and put them in a place of position, put themselves in a place of position to think that they have the power to have somebody convince him, because Matt Walsh is no different than Steven Crowder, because I saw Steven Crowder sit up there and ask this boy, he was talking to him, young black boy, convince me that there's racism in 2023.
Don't believe the United States is a racist country. Yeah. If you disagree, you're more than welcome to change my mind.
Who the are you for somebody to convince? Who are you? That's the question. What laws can you change to make anything better or worse? What money do you have that you could change somebody? You are insignificant. You are a non-factor. You're a non-starter. You are not important of the grand scheme of the blueprints. You're not even in the blueprints. Who are you? That's what blows my mind.
And we'll start with this.
Hi. So I just texted my dad to ask about my Canadian citizenship because my brother applied for his, because apparently that's something that I have that I can do. Kind of cool. But anyways, I just attested to apply for mine because I didn't have any interest in it like a couple months ago, but now I'm f***ing terrified to live in this f***ing country because I'm so f***ing over it. Because I hate my town and I hate the country in general, and that's just on hating America. Not that my career can really function in Canada at all, so I don't really know what I'm gonna do there. I guess we would figure it out if it had to happen, but I'd rather be prepared.
She will be sorely missed.
Stop, don't come back.
What will this country do without her?
And he's butthurt because specifically, and she's colorless woman. She is saying she's over it. She doesn't want to live here anymore. I don't know if she has kids or she go to school. Maybe she doesn't want to get shot. The jobs, maybe she wants to be paid a living wage and she doesn't want to be homeless, and the cost of food, rent, and everything else with inflation is out of control. Banks are failing. Yeah, it looks like this is swirling down the toilet, and a lot of people are thinking, well, maybe I should go back to wherever I was born or am from, or get the hell out of here, which I don't blame them. There is nothing going on in America now that is wonderful. There is no desire for anybody to be here. This is a shithole, just like Trump was saying about other countries. No, this is the shithole. This is ridiculous. The unbridled greed, the willing to hurt regular people. They don't even see that this makes them weak. It makes them look weak to other countries. And you are also doing this to the people within the country, which also weakens you. And I agree with her 100%. She said it is so bad and it is so stressful to her that she is going to try and figure out a way to get out of here, to escape it.
So really she's on drugs, right? Isn't that the first clue is that she's moving to Canada. And the second is that she's babbling incoherently. I mean, Canada? Why? What are you going to do in Canada? Become a syrup farmer?
You, buddy.
I just want to know, in what way, nothing against Canada, in what way is Canada an improvement? What problems do you find here that you won't find there? She has no answers for those questions, obviously. All she knows is that she hates it here. But I know what she really hates, and we'll circle back around, as Jen Psaki would say, and we'll talk about that because there's a common thread through all of these videos, probably. But let's keep watching.
If you're American and you think America's the best country in the world, can you please give me a genuine reason why?
I don't know how many times we got to tell y'all, America is a third world country in a Gucci belt. We hate it here too. Like, we don't want to be here.
A third world country, he says, lounging on his bed in what looks to be a shower cap, recording a video on his $900 phone.
One, what makes you think that's a shower cap? I'm not finna do this. First of all, that's not a shower cap. It's a bonnet, and you fucking know that. You effing know that. He's in bed because he bought it, I'm sure with his hard-earned money. And he was 100% right saying that America is a third world country in a Gucci belt. Yeah, it's the GDP of this country is inflated. The prices are inflated. It's a joke. It's a three-ring circus. And at some point, the bottom's going to fall out of it. And it looks like it's already happening. There's no more road to kick the can down.
Which he'll upload using his internet connection and then spend the day scrolling the internet, playing video games, eating whatever snacks he finds in his mom's pantry. Yeah, third world country.
Then he goes on with the stereotypes. You know, he didn't have to really say it like, oh, dude's going to be smoking weed. He has his $900 iPhone and he's living in the house with his mother. If he's living in the house with his mother, it's because there needs to be multiple incomes to afford rent. What does this douchebag know about that? People may move in together so they can effing survive. That's reality in this ish hole.
That's what this is. You're comfortable, you're clearly well-fed, healthy. Yeah, you think you're in a third world country. And all that speaks to is the extent of your own comfort and your own luxury.
So basically, he's sitting up here talking about well-fed. You look healthy and comfortable. How does he know that? How does he know that? That's insane. Trying to compare America and Americans and what we talk about to a country that is underdeveloped is disingenuous, and he's being obtuse. He knows if he compares this country to another first world country, we're still in a horrible place. People are being outpriced. Homes are being bought up by corporations. They're raising the rent. People are ending up on the street homeless. There's a homeless issue. There's a lack of food issue. And it's because of greed. They use the pandemic to raise prices and they will not lower the prices. So all of the little stimulus checks, it was nothing. People got nothing. People are in the red. People are maxing out their credit cards trying to survive. While these monopolies and these madmen and these disgusting CEOs and shareholders try and bleed people dry. Welcome to America.
You're so comfortable that, like, if your mom runs out of Cheetos and you have to wait 45 minutes for her to get back from the store, suddenly you're suffering like a starving child in Ethiopia. That's the extent of your comfort. But maybe I'm not being fair. I don't know, because I thought I saw this and like with all these videos, I think, well, maybe he hates it here. Maybe this guy has real complaints. I don't know. Maybe he's got real complaints about his life and about this country. Maybe he's really suffered in his life. Maybe he's really deprived. I don't know. So I went to his page just to see what else I could find to figure out what his sob story is that would make him hate this country so much. And I think I found it. Here it is. This is the same guy.
You know, here I was today walking out of work being a citizen of capitalism. And I come and find out somebody hit my mirror. Just hit the mirror. And then ran away. Ran away. Not only did they run away, but they took the mirror with them. You know how disrespectful you have to be to not only hit someone's take it with them. Like, you're an evil ass. Oh my God. I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I'm pissed. Whoever took my mirror for days.
Well, I retract my previous remarks. I mean, this is a man who has suffered. I mean, he's taking the time to make.
And Matt Walsh is a dumb idiot. So you're just going to go on his TikTok, and he's doing it because he's a part of the LGBT community. So, you know, he kind of gets off on that, you know, who knows what he's into. But yeah, what did that have to do with, oh, you're anti-American and you have a good life? he doesn't know anything about this man. This man is a stranger to him. Like he says, he doesn't know if he has suffered or been without food or been homeless or, had his lights turned off because he had to choose between bills. He doesn't know what hardship that this young man has went through. But he sits in a place of privilege, looking down on other people just because they say they don't like America.
Take a video along with like putting the words up on the screen. So we had to edit this. And it's good to put the words on the screen because we got to make sure that every word that he says, we don't want to miss any of it. It's so eloquent and important. The whole world had to know about this. Complaining about someone hitting the mirror on his car. Surely this is someone who has lived a life of just untold misfortune.
Life is pain.
He has a reason to hate it here, I guess. And since he does hate it here, let me just offer him a suggestion. And I would offer this suggestion to anyone else who hates it here and hates this country. You can leave. Get out. Leave the country. There is no law. I got good news for you. No law requiring you to stay. I wish there was a law requiring you to leave, but there isn't. So you can choose to stay or to leave.
And they always fall back to that BS comment. Oh, you can leave. Just get out. Who the F are you to tell somebody to get out? Leaving costs money. You have to have funds to transition yourself to a totally different country or a totally different area. So maybe if the reparations were paid, we could get that process started. That's one. Two, why don't, if they are so tired of the people who are complaining, why don't they go and leave and make some new area where all of them can just be together with each other and circle jerk each other? It could be one big conservative little pile of ish in an area.
And that's a choice that you have. Why would you stay in a place you hate? All right, let's keep going. And this, by the way, these are all, most of them under the hashtag Hate America or Hate America 2021. There are a lot of videos in that theme on TikTok. And here's another one. So he says, while you're celebrating your 4th of July, don't forget whose land you stole to celebrate your freedom. Okay. When you say the land that you stole, you're referring to white settlers hundreds of years ago. Here's my next question.
And here we go. It's the same thing over and over. They never say anything new. Oh, it's the land that white settlers stole years ago. But yeah, I'm going to reap the benefits and the privileges, which is the reason why they stole it in the first place, was to eradicate the natives so they can take over everything to benefit their future generations. He's a genius, isn't he?
When they moved in and took land, did they steal from the tribe that occupied that land at the time, or from the tribe that tribe stole it from, or from the tribe that...
It doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, because we can have a history lesson about how they kept dealing horribly with Native Americans, and then they kept taking more and more and more. All we have to look at is the state of Native Americans today. They are on reservations. They are on freaking reservations. This is their land, and it doesn't matter what they did on this land. This was none of these colonizers' business. They brought their disease. They brought death and war. They brought this horrible energy that consumed Native Americans almost to extinction. Talk about savages.
That the tribe that stole it from. You see, because this entire continent was awash in conquest, slavery, murder, war, long before anybody with white skin showed up. These tribes, all of them, lived by the law of conquest.
If that was true, if everybody was doing this and had this mindset of colonizing, conquering, taking, why is it that colorless people, history is the way it is, and everywhere they have gone, they've taken everything? every group of people that they've come in contact with, they have their blood on their hands. They've exterminated certain people, groups of people. And like I said, they've almost exterminated groups of people. And if this was happening like worldwide, there would hardly be anybody left. And you can tell it's a lie, because the people would have been just as fierce in fighting them back and not dealing with them. And they try and set this up to say like they're more intelligent, have a higher IQ or smarter. No, they're just more savage. Like they are willing to do things that are inhumane to people of color. And that's why they've been able to gain a foothold. Because it doesn't make any sense how you're exterminating people. Nobody was practicing antebellum chattel slavery. That's a lie. There were other slaveries that were horrific, but for the most part, that did not extend to your children's children forever. The whole gator bait and everything that happened during antebellum chattel slavery and up to Jim Crow and up to today. Okay, in 2023, they unloaded 20 bullets on someone who had a broken arm and could not follow commands because all of these cops were yelling at different commands, and they shot him 20 times. People found hanging, hands behind their back in a tree. Yeah, because we're beyond that.
Don't believe the United States is a racist country.
If you want it, you take it. If you have it and you want to keep it, you defend it. If you have it and you want to keep it and you can't defend it, you lose it. Does that make it right for white people? No, but it's not right for anybody. That's the way the world worked.
And this is what I wanted to get to. I wanted to get to this point because this is where we actually agree. Now, am I saying that it's right? No. But I want them to stand on that square. I want them to stand on that. I really do not like when they say it's not right for anybody to do, because that caveat right there is, we shouldn't do that anymore. If somebody feels like they're a stronger nation, they shouldn't try and take over America, because they're fine dishing it out, but they definitely do not want to get that back. But they have to stand on that. If you're going to be proud of all of it, you've got to be proud of every single drop of it. So when BRICS or another nation is stronger than America and they smell blood in the water and they decide to bite down and rip out the throat of America and put America down, just remember, they came, they saw, they wanted, they took, they were stronger, they conquered. Okay? Just keep that same energy.
So the white man showed up, and in some cases they played by the same rules. They didn't invent them.
To the white man, who steals our land and steals our sons.
To the white man.
If a tribe gets moved off their land by white people, but they had just moved other people off the land, they're thieves also. So who's the victim?
Okay, there's a whole pipeline that was going through the lands for the Native American. So make that make sense. Make that make sense. This is land reserved for them, but a pipeline is going through their land. So that's not even being upheld. It's disgusting. Like I said, karma is a bitch, and for them, they keep saying this over and over, and it's not to convince anybody. They're trying to convince themselves that, once that pendulum swing back, and it's going to be worse, 10 times worse, 10 times faster, 10 times, it's going to hit them 10 times harder. That's where that fear comes from. They can sit up here and boast all they want to and think that America is going to stand the test of time. Yeah, we'll see.
I could never quite get an answer to that question. Let's see. We got. We'll try one more. I'm still waiting for someone to present some kind of articulate argument. Maybe this will be it. Let's watch this. Oh, okay. That's edgy stuff there. I mean, the guy's got the fingernails painted black and everything. I remember when kids did that when I was in middle school to prove how rebellious they were, and we called them goths back then. They call them something else now, but really the word that binds them all together would be dorks. Dorks! Dorks by another name. Real tough guy, by the way, covering his face while he does this. Yeah, but I think this brings us back to the beginning. I said I was going to circle back, and I'm going to. All these people who hate America, what do they really hate? And I'll tell you, they hate themselves. That's what they actually hate. They are dissatisfied with who they are and with their own lives, and they've projected those feelings of resentment and failure onto the entire country.
Trump and the USA.
It's kind of a common thing people do. In fact, in one form or another, someone who's failing at life might pick up and move to another town or another region, or they go traveling around the world or something, and they think that a change in scenery will change their life, but it won't, because it's the problems are internal. There's an internal source of their trouble, so it never works. Because wherever they go, they bring themselves with them, and the self is really the problem. And in this case, with these people, the self should be the problem. They should be dissatisfied with themselves because they are miserable losers, after all. What they need to do, here's what I would recommend. Rather than stewing on how much you hate America when really you hate yourself and thinking about it so much, just get out of your own head for a moment. Stop thinking about yourself for 5 seconds. Crack a beer, have a burger. Enjoy the day.
That's his dumb A recommendation. He's a buffoon. He's a clown. These people have genuine issues in America. Rent, the cost of food, gas. People were trying to do their best to lift themselves up. There is no more bootstraps. It's chaos. And people who are wealthy, they love to look down on people who are even, white collar workers. They literally think that you should be okay with the state of this effed up nation right now. The homelessness. Kids going to sleep hungry and then waking up in the morning not knowing if they'll be able to finish their breakfast before they get shot. People doing more and more drugs because they don't see a future. Because you have all these greedy, disgusting people who are willing to do anything for $1, say anything for $1, that's trying to position themselves, taking from the majority of people. Greed rampant. People unhealthy. This is truly a ish-hole nation. And they are trying to polish this crap of a nation. And they can't let it go. This nation has never been what they thought it was. And now they're angry because even people who look like them, where it's supposed to benefit them, they are seeing now, they want to wake up now and realize that they're being used to. And whoever's in that special circle, they don't care about you. They've taken away, certain women's rights, and certain women are crying because they didn't want to listen. Oh, well, go through it. I mean, they are siphoning the wealth from the poorest people and pulling it in because they can never get enough. And then you have people like him who wants to be in that circle in some type of way so he can get some money. He's disgusting. And to sit up here and talk about a person who is native to this land is hella disrespectful. It is the ultimate level of disrespect. And like I said, I cannot wait until this nation gets what it deserves because it's coming. Everybody feels it. Everybody knows it. It's coming. This system, this nation is going to get exactly what it deserves. Being anti-America means being anti the system, which reaches way beyond America. and I can't wait until it's ripped apart at the seams. But I'll go ahead and leave it right here. Let me know what you thought about this video, and I will see you in the next one.